Jen, what is this podcast that we do? What's this about?
No expectations?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's about the conversations that we've been having. Somewhere along the way, we thought that other people might benefit from them.
that's very
it
that's very presumptuous of us.
was. It was. We actually went into this saying, hey, there are no expectations. Like how the messages that we're sending or communicating, conversations, we're not trying to have this big gathering or following of people who are going to do it our way. Um,
Yeah, this wasn't a recipe.
yeah,
There's no like, hey, follow our ways and your life will be super dandy. We were just trying to have a conversation about it.
just conversation. Yeah.
I think we looked around and um, we're like asking questions and uh, we couldn't really find the answers we wanted to in real terms. That's how I was thinking about it. Where people were coming to me
Mm-hmm.
asking questions and they were like picking up books and like I don't understand this. Can somebody explain this in terms that I can wrap my head around? And I think that's what these conversations were for me.
Yeah.
And while I've spent my entire existence on this planet reading books like this and talking to people, um, and I have that kind of knowledge, what Jen brings to me as a teacher for me too is like putting this into place. So she has a different perspective on it. And so um, that's really valuable for me because I'm always learning.
Yeah.
And I have to sometimes, learn to dumb it down.
I feel attacked. Wow.
No,
Wow.
I mean, that's what we're here for because we have different perspectives, different angles on it, like everyone else does.
Yeah. Well, I think when we were studying the sutras, um, just the terms being used and the conversation, it was just it's so intangible. It did not make sense to me, and it took us having the conversation about what it meant to live the Yoga Sutras and um, picking that book up off the shelf and trying to read it on my own was just like reading a foreign language that I'd seen for the first time. And
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too with text like that. It pretty much explicitly says Patanjali does in the Yoga Sutras like you need to work with a guru, and a guru is not somebody who just finished teaching asanas. The guru is actually somebody who has wisdom, and wisdom is different than knowledge.
mm-hmm.
Knowledge is something that you can pick up a book and regurgitate it. Wisdom is actually picking up the book, reading it, and then going and living it and putting it into practice and then seeing how it comes out the other end. And so, for example, Yoga Sutras is one of those things that you need to be with somebody who has some understanding of it and that can put it into real terms.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when we studied it during COVID, because Jen said she wanted to study it, we studied, was it on Zoom?
Yeah. Yeah.
We went through each sutra line by line and dissected it.
Oh my gosh, that feels like a lifetime ago.
It was. But those were important parts, right?
Yeah.
And we think about how those apply to our lives today. And even though we're talking about ancient knowledges, is it always applicable in a modern world?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. And I think that's what these conversations are about. It's like, okay, let's take some of these teachings through Zen and Buddhism and yoga and all of these things, even Christianity, all things spiritual, and let's see how we can kind of boil them down and make them accessible.
Yeah.
It's not Kool-Aid. Like, and you can still have fun with that, and that's the thing too. I always see this on like social media. It's like, hey, we got to talk about it like this.
Bunnies are back.
What?
You see them?
You see them back there?
Do y'all see the bunnies?
I think that's the end is near when the bunnies start.
It's.
I mean, if they attack me, we're in trouble.
It's coming. Okay.
Jen's a little paranoid.
Rabies is going around. Did you hear about the?
Let's not.
No. Okay.
Let's not start to unfounded.
It's real. It's not fake news. It's real.
Is that what this podcast is about?
No. Could be. No expectation.
No expectation. Way to meet. Way to meet. Oh man, these guys are full on. They're like right in the shot. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh. That's our following.
Both of our listeners.
So that's what we do here. We're just having fun with it.
We clarified what we're doing. All right. Yep.
Awesome. Oh shit! Stop. It's not stopping.
You got to hit the